What is, in your expertise, your true expertise, what is the power of play for youth? How is the power of play impacting our youth and can impact our youth based upon what you've seen?
First of all, the power of play as relates to youth has to be understood under two concepts that are far outside of the training and conditioning realm, biomotors at large. When I say biomotors, are we increasing speed, strength, flexibility? Are we decreasing weight? Those extraneous, for example, number one is socialization. The power of play has a socialization concept to it that is incredibly missing in today's culture that, Rodney, when you and I were younger, was very evident. And I tell this story all the time when I speak globally at lectures on this particular topic. You know, in the summer months, when I was a child, my behind was kicked out my front door by my mom at 9 a.m. just after breakfast. And I was not permitted to come back home except for bathroom breaks and then lunch and dinner. And that's the socialization of it. And the incredible aspect of that is that we learn team play. We learn fair play. We learn a lot about the intricacies of cooperative team and how to work together and in opposition. You hear a great deal about tactical training and theoretical training, but all of those are based on the experiences that we have as children in play setting, free play setting. So free play number one connotates to me the need for socialization, or a better way of saying it is that the power of play, the need for free play, produces great amounts of socialization experience, which is what all children need. If you consider the human neurological system, the neural system, we are ever-evolving machines as children and are needing experiential things to learn from. We can't learn in the context of theory. And that's where sport training and fitness training falls down in terms of young people. Is this not about sets and reps? It's certainly not about static pieces of non-functional apparatus like a seated leg extension, for example. That's theoretical. That's concerted work. But that's not experiencing the aspects of movement and play. So that's number one is socialization. Number two, though, again, outside of the realm of training, conditioning, biomotor enhancements, is the joy of physical culture. And that is where we are dropping the ball tremendously in our industry. We are looking at kids who are overweight. We are looking at kids who are young athletes and perhaps bench warmers. We're looking at other young athletes who are superstars. And in each of those three pillars, we're finding reasons to train these kids in order to accumulate numbers. Decreases in weight, increases in strength, decreases in 40-yard dash time, so therefore increases in speed. But what we're not getting is buy-in and love of the numbers are very stark. As much as 80% of children who experience overweight or obesity concerns in our current culture come from families who have overweight parents. There is no buy-in of love to move, and that's what play provides, kids and adults alike. But of course, also question myself to kids for today, the love of movement, the love of being active. I talk endlessly about the need to reconnect with what we had 20, 25, 30 years ago, and of course before that, which was a physical culture. I already gave the story of how I was out of the house 8 hours a day by necessity. That was my mom's rules. It was what it was in our house. My brother was with me. We met all of our friends at the park. We played baseball. We ran. We climbed trees. We rode our bikes. We did everything. But I learned to love physical activity. I learned to adore it, enjoy it, and it becomes part of breathing for me. That's what the indoctrination of play gave to me. Is it wasn't about sets and reps. It wasn't about someone patting me on the head and saying, "Oh, good, you've lost 15 pounds. Good for you." It wasn't about somebody saying, "Well, next year you're going to be a starter because I've increased all these biomotors." And it wasn't about somebody saying that you're a superstar now, but you're going to go to the NCAA and then perhaps pro after that because of all these amazing numbers we have. It was just me loving to play. And that has beget me into an adult who, Rodney, I wouldn't know what to do with myself if I wasn't active in a given day. And for me, it's not about sets and reps. Yes, I go to the gym. I love to lift weights, but I'm also a competitive boxer. I also have 2 young kids who I mandate we play together because whether they like it or not, I love it. I love playing with my 5 and 7-year-old. Physical activity for me is just part of culture. It's part of Brian Grasso. And that indoctrination, that reality happened when I was a young child. And so, well outside the physical realities, and of course I'll speak to them, but outside the physical realities, we have socialization and love of movement. Those 2 things have to vault into part 1 and part 2 of the reason we have to get kids playing.